All right, we are now joined on the Soccer Hour by the San Jose Earthquakes' Jamar Ricketts, who, of course, will be ready on Saturday night at 7:30 when the Earthquakes play host to Sporting Kansas City for Game 1 of the season. KMBR 680 is where you will catch the broadcast. Me and Quakes legend Joe Cannon on the call. But back to Jamar. So, Jamar, before I ask you how you're doing, the most important question, are you going to follow up a second consecutive Game 1 first goal of the year for the Earthquakes?
That's how I'm feeling. I was talking to my friends about it, and I feel like it's just written. It's bound to happen.
I love it, man. Now, back to the formalities. How you doing, man? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm stoked. I think the team has done well this whole preseason, really showing that we have a good group, especially the younger guys. Everybody just banding together, and we're ready for whatever's thrown at us.
Yeah, man, it is a younger group, and I've talked to Nico about that. I talked to Buddha about that. Is it fun, where you can maybe tease Dave Romney about being the old guy out there?
Yeah, like especially when we're at the tables and we're asking each other, "Oh, do you remember this show?" And most of these guys are like, "What show?" Or like, "Whoa," and we're just teasing them, calling them uncles,
That's awesome. But no, I mean, you guys have a good group. I think that's the most important thing that people probably look at beyond, goals and assists and, key plays, possession, is that if the group gets along and everybody vibes well, then the team is going to have a good time, enjoy playing with each other, and that's probably going to help produce some good results.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
And last year, it's not like you guys didn't have a good group or anything like that. I just think that you continue upon the great group that you had last year. And, I looked at last year for you, man. You had health on your side. Year number 1, you had a hamstring injury that just wouldn't leave you alone. But last year, you were healthy. You were able to play some important minutes, coming off the bench, having big moments, getting starts. Does that feel like that experience, was maybe what you wanted year 1 to be, but maybe sets you up to have that much more success here in year number 3?
Yeah, I always look at the positives of things, like me being injured helped me sit back and watch from the sidelines and watch how everything transpired. And then once I fully got the next year, once I fully got my feet running on the field, then I was starting to figure out how things maneuver, how the speed of play, the tempo, and what the game needs from me. And then this year coming into preseason, I just felt confident flying, like just ready to take players on or do whatever the team needs. And I don't feel like there's like a nervous bone in my body. I'm just ready for whatever.
When you were in college, I want to say that in addition to playing on the wing, you also would play underneath in an attacking role. And so far in preseason, you've been on the wing in an attacking role. Do you feel like at this point of your career, you could play whatever position, whether it's a left back, whether it's a left wing back, whether it's a left winger, whether it's a forward, whether it's a 10? Are you ready to just do whatever's asked of you on any given day?
Always ready to be asked. I just feel like, especially at my skill set, I'm a utility player because I think my biggest attribute is I work hard. So I could run, take players on, or I could also defend the fastest player on the field or the most technical player on the field. So it's honestly wherever I'm needed. And so far this preseason, I've been playing out on the wing. So we'll see how the season keeps unfolding.
Do you like that wing position? Because I mean, a guy like you can play so many different roles. Do you have a favorite position? How does that work for you?
I wouldn't say I don't like it. I think I love it because that's what I've always grown up playing. So like I think once I get into those positions where I'm able to take players on and use my speed or use my bag of skills, I just that brings the joy. Brings more joy to me, than just having to really like chase players around. But I do love that. I embrace that too. I also like putting players on the ground. So I think each of them have their pros and cons.
How much different is it playing in the wingback role where you were set up in game number 1 last year versus playing the true left wing versus the left back?
I would say that the biggest thing is probably defensively, just knowing your role and how to press. Because being a winger, everything's in front of me, essentially. Of course, playing wingback, things are in front of me as well. But winger, I press forward. I'm initiating certain presses in certain scenarios. So as opposed to being a left back where I have to be vigilant about this guy and whether he wants to run in behind, check to feet. Now it's those players need to worry about me running in behind or checking in the feed. So I think that's just the biggest switch.
Yeah, interesting. That's cool. How's it been playing with Nico so far in the preseason? Because I think that everybody's ready for him to have a big step forward in his career. He's obviously just a chill guy, ready to go out there and have some fun. It's so funny, like so many of you guys individually, like when I'm talking to you right now, chill dudes. But I see you guys out there on the pitch during games and you're shoving guys, you're getting in guys' faces. Does Nico have that same thing going on?
Yeah, I think Nico this preseason has been flying. He's always, in my eyes, he's always been talented, always been a great person on and off the field. So I think this is going to be a big year for him. And I think he's showing what he can do and why he deserves to be on the field. So I'm definitely excited to see what this year holds.
Now, I asked Nico a question that involved you. I have his answer, but I said, if Jamar, if Benji, and Buddha all lined up for a 40, who's winning that race? He gave me his answer, but I want to know what your answer is to that question.
And the answer, it should be me, no matter what.
that was his answer. So you guys are right on the same track. I love it, man. But it is funny, though, because you guys have different types of speed. Like Benji's got the super long strides. So I feel like if he was racing against you in a 100 or 200, he would probably start gaining on you later. And then you get a guy like Jack Skahan. Jack is fast, but I feel like his first 3 steps are about as fast as anybody's out there on the pitch. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah, Jack is like when I see Jack, I think of like a rally car. Like it just goes. It just takes off and goes. And sometimes he takes off and you can't catch him. So
the Jack Rabbit, if you will.
Yeah, literally. Like he just goes. But yeah, I agree. I think we all do have different types of speed.
No, it's fun to watch though, just because I do think that there is more and more of that speed that's going to come into play this year for you guys. And does it feel like things came together pretty nicely during the preseason? Because I felt like watching the games over the Coachella Valley Invitational, I think that by the time the third game rolled around, the team's legs maybe looked a little bit tired, just because you play a condensed schedule in a preseason. You got closed door scrimmages. You've had multiple games up to that point while everybody's getting game ready. But I felt like I had more of an idea of what the team would be. Does it feel like you guys are ready? Do you feel like all the games that you played in the preseason, whether it was San Diego or Monterey, and then of course the games at Coachella, do you all feel like you're ready and juiced to go for Saturday?
Yeah, I think we're ready. We're ready to see how we perform in that first game, because preseason, those are great games. Those are great games to get under your belt. But each teams are trying different things, trying to see what works, what doesn't work. So that first game is, all right, this is what we took from preseason. This is how we're going to play. Same with the other teams. So we're just eager to see how everything transpires. And especially going on throughout the season, we'll probably have more players coming in. So we're just all ready. We're all on the front foot, no matter what.
For sure. When you do get to this time, I think I was talking to maybe Romney about this, because I was saying the hardest part for me is, you get to day one of training camp, and then it's just the wait to the start of game number 1. Because for me, like, you get the news cycle going, there's more stuff for me to talk about, start doing my research for the games and for other teams and such. But Dave said that it was actually probably the time between the last game of preseason and this Saturday night. Do you find that legit? Does that ring true with you, where it's like, yeah, that final week before the first real game, that's the hardest part?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just finding our legs too, because we had a condensed preseason. So people are still a little tired, recovering. But I think this is more mental, especially for us and the coach staff, just figuring out how things are going to work out, because it's like the preseason games are just tests. So you're just seeing what works, what didn't work. And then now you have to solidify something within this first week so that we're ready and be prepared for what Kansas might bring to us. So I think that Dave was right on with that.
What are your personal goals for this 2026 season? I know that team wants to win. You want to make the playoffs, but I want to know what is Jamar asking of himself?
For me, I always shoot high. So especially if I'm going to be playing in this winger position, I think I need to be able to produce and help the team win games. And that means either assisting or scoring goals and things of that sort. So I haven't really put a number on anything, but I just want to make sure that I'm putting numbers up on the board somewhere, some way, somehow.
Nice. And as a last one for you, tell me about your game day routine. Do you have a specific pregame meal? Do you take a nap after you get up in the morning? Do you do coffee in the morning, or do you do coffee maybe closer to the game? Like, what's your routine?
So if we're having a home game, I usually wake up. I usually sleep in a little bit.
Nice.
Wake up around, excuse me, like 10ish, 11. Um, then I read a book, get my mind flowing, and then um, I'll make myself breakfast, have my breakfast, take a little nap, go eat my. Then time goes by. I'll probably watch the games that are on throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to my family. Then I'll sometimes I might play the game too, like play FIFA a little bit, just get the creative juices flowing. And then I'll eat lunch. I usually get a sandwich. There's a spot called Togo's over here, so I eat a
Yeah, for
sandwich.
sure.
I eat that, come back, take a nice long shower. Like I think that's just really preparing me for the game. Like I get in the shower, turn on some music, and I'm just in that mode. And then I get dressed, put on a nice little outfit, and head straight to the stadium.
Love it, man. Love it. And then once you get there, I know that some guys hop on the bike as soon as they get there. Do you do the pregame bike, or do you save it till where you get out there on the pitch and start running around?
Yeah, I usually save it, but I do have rehab that I do because I've obviously been injured. So like, there's things I want to prepare myself for,
Yeah.
mostly like sprinting and stuff like that. So I'll stretch out, roll out, sometimes get a massage, but most of the time I'm just vibing to the music, just letting it lift me up, ready for the game.
You're talking to a 43-year-old who likes to lift. I know all about the prehab, making sure the hammies are good. That's a big part of my life as well, so I understand that. But hey, Jamar, I will let you go, man. Super excited for you and the team for what's coming up on Saturday, and obviously the entirety of the 2026 campaign. I know they've got Media Day going on there tomorrow, so I will see you in person tomorrow. But have a good one, man, and I'll see you then. All right.
All right, thank you. Talk soon.